What's going on, good people? Welcome into the Delmarva Sports Insider, the only live and local show dedicated to giving you all local sports. I'm Sports Director Trayvon Miles.
That's right, and I'm Brandon Bossert. It is week 3 of the DIAA football season. We also got boys soccer for you, so we've got a lot of action to get to tonight.
Yeah, welcome on into another episode of Delmarva Sports Insider, Brandon. As you know, always great to be on the greatest show in America.
Absolutely, Trey.
We've got a lot to run down tonight, including an instant classic in Georgetown. We'll talk about that, and we'll get to it soon, but we'll begin with a battle of two of the top Henlopen teams according to our rankings here at 47 ABC Sports. Caesar Rodney boasting that amazing defense, taking a rare trip to Delmar to take on the Wildcats.
Very interesting matchup.
Very foggy night in D-Town, and both teams got off to very slow starts. Scoreless through one, CR unable to take advantage of good field position, fumbles the ball away right here on this play. Very next play, Delmar had the yips all night. They're going to give it right back. The Wildcats simply could not hold on to the football.
Unbelievable.
That would lead to the first points of the night. CR's got this pretty big quarterback, Tremere Woodland, going to call his own number. Watch him get some help from the O-line to cross the goal line. The Riders taking a 6-0 lead, but Delmar would respond just 4 plays later. Trent Kemp going to get the carry near the goal line, and he's going to beat a defender to the edge. Score 6-6.
All right, now CR would score on their next possession to retake the lead. Now 2 minutes in the half, and Delmar quarterback Parker Lucas putting it on the carpet once again. Riders recovering the fumble, and they would turn it into points. Woodland up top, Deontay Kale. We know what happens when you toss it up to Kale. He's coming down with it. Spectacular showing by the Riders. Way downstate tonight. They defeat Delmar by a 26-6 final score. So a statement right there from Caesar Rodney tonight.
Yeah, and we talked about it last week. That CR defense is something else. Now, Brandon, I have an updated stat. Through 12 quarters now, CR has given up 20 points. Whew. So that's average. That's lowering their average, which was about 7 points per game last week coming into this matchup, to about 6 per game. That front seven just completely tough, and they play hard. One thing I see about this team that I haven't seen anywhere else, the defense wants turnovers. They go out and say, hey, we're going to get the ball back. We're going to get the ball back to the offense. The offense, obviously, it starts on the ground, but they are not afraid to throw that ball up. Woodland, I love that kid. He's a great player, and he knows he has an elite wide receiver on the outside in Deontay Kale.
That's exactly right. An impressive performance by the CR defense once again in week 1. Sussex Tech really couldn't do much against that CR defense. And then after tonight, that hard-fought win against Central last week looks a lot more impressive. We'll get to Central in just a bit. But now we see them go down to Delmar and declaw the Wildcats like they did tonight.
Clever.
Very impressive start to the season.
Absolutely.
You hate to get too far ahead, Trey, but there is a chance that on December 4th, week 7, the week before the playoffs, we could see a matchup between undefeated Caesar Rodney and undefeated Smyrna.
That would be cool.
Imagine that matchup right there, Trey.
How cool would that be?
That would be
something.
great.
And what it looks like is we may get the best offense against the best defense.
Exactly.
That's just what's happened so far this season.
That is a dream matchup leading into the playoffs.
Yes.
All right, now let's move on to the best game of the night. The Smyrna Eagles have won their first 2 games of the season by a final of 94-20. We know they're good. But how would they respond when facing a tough defense and a deficit late? Well, we found that out tonight. The Eagles taking on Central. We're going to pick things up at the end of the half right here. Check this fog out right here, Trey.
Bowl.
Phillip Stratton up the middle. He bursts through the fog, and he is in. Touchdown for the Golden Knights, but the high-flying Eagles answer right back.
Trickery.
Sanchez to Wayne Knight. The trickery right here. Halfback pass, Devin DeMoe for the score for the Eagles. Back and forth we go in this one. Knights handed off to big number 3, Deion Stevens, powering his way in with authority there. Central retakes the lead. They had the lead late in this one. Ensuing Smyrna drive, going for it on 4th and 12, but no dice right here. Gives Central the ball back.
We thought it was over.
That's right, we did, and they would capitalize. They chew up 6 minutes on the clock, and Stratton punches it in. Golden Knights
really thought it was
by
over here.
8 points right here. So how would Smyrna respond to this challenge? Well, let's check it out. Sanchez handing it off to Wayne Knight,
Wow.
and he makes it look so easy.
Looks
Look
like
at this
man.
right here.
Jeez.
2-point conversion. You know it's going to be good with the earthquake formation. We are tied. Smyrna with the ball. 1 minute to go. DeMo gets the ball and takes it.
Move.
Here he goes, making a move. He goes all the way down the field through the fog, and it's Knight capping it off with a great cutback to put Smyrna in front. They battle back for the win, 34-28. An impressive performance right there from Smyrna. They were down late, but they came back and won it.
Wow, now to the oldest high school rivalry in the state of Delaware. There you see the Lions Club trophy. Laurel taking on Seaford. Laurel's won it 16 straight times, looking for 17. Check out the Dogs pounding the rock with Kylese Wilson. One run hard run after another. Kylese on the goal line, ducking under a tackler, and he's getting in. Now, Seaford would fumble the ball away on the next kickoff. Seaford's had some trouble with ball control as well. Give it to number 5, Wilson, putting 6 on the scoreboard. That made it 21-0. Now, not much through the air tonight. They really didn't need to until the 4th. Caden Shockley delivering a strike to Javi White. Laurel with their 17th straight win over Seaford, the new record for the longest streak in that storied rivalry. And by the way, Laurel now 3-0 for the first time in at least a dozen years.
We've shown that in all 3 games, playing tough and better in the second half. So it was exciting to see that again for the 3rd week in a row. And it's good to know moving forward, but let's just tighten up that first half. You know, we played them last year, and, you know, we were in very different places as programs at the time. So, you know, we're moving forward. I know they're great. They had a great win last week. I'm not sure what they're doing this week or right now, but we're excited to get back after it and get a chance to kind of step on that field again and give it a go with those guys.
Second part of that SOT was talking about Carabel. Laurel goes against Carabel next week.
Wow.
Now to the Milford Bucks. That's right, back at home on senior night, taking on the Cape Henlopen Vikings. Cape striking first after a deep bomb sets them up in Buck territory. There's Jaden Davis doing the rest of the work right there. Vikings up early. More of the same for the blue and gold, sticking with the ground game. Davis again from 1 yard out. This is his 3rd TD of just the first half. The boys from Lewis out of the gate sizzling, but the Bucks have an answer in the next possession. Marquise Gillis, real estate right here, all the way down the field for the score, but the Vikings have one final answer. Final minute of the first half. Hank D'Ambrosi makes something out of nothing, calls his own number, and he is in for the score right here. Cape with a 28-7 lead heading into the break. They polish it off with a 41-28 win. That's a little surprising right there.
Very surprising. Not surprising. For the 2nd straight week, we have a postponed game until Monday. Lake and Milford will play on Monday the 9th. That is official now. We finally, Brandon, get a chance to see Woodbridge this season. Of course, they had that COVID outbreak at their school, missed the first 2 weeks. Now get this, their quarantine ends today.
Right.
They will practice tomorrow and Sunday for the first time in 2 weeks.
Wow, it's going to be
tough. And they will go to Lake on Monday. Just think about how much pressure this puts on Woodbridge, essentially with little to no practice time, no room for error to go up and get a win against a Lake Forest team who also has to win out if they want any chance at playoffs this year with a shortened season.
Yeah, but if any team in the Henlopen South can pull off something like this,
very talented,
it's the Woodbridge Blue Raiders.
I agree.
And I'm going to be totally honest, going up against Lake Forest, they might be able to pull off this win on only 2 days of practice, but that is going to be exceptionally difficult for these guys. We'll see what happens on Monday, but let's move on to some other scores from around the Henlopen. No scores to talk about. We don't know what exactly happened.
Was anybody at the Indian River Polytech game?
Not that I could see on Twitter, Trey.
Now,
but
can we confirm that was not the real score?
I mean, somebody has to win. Somebody has to win this game, but Indian River Polytech, we do not have a score. If somebody out there went to this game and has a score for us, please let us know on Twitter.
If you went to the game, and I know there wasn't many of you, but if you went to the game, come on, give us a score. All right, Dover, Sussex Tech, the only other game that was slated to go on tonight, that game was officially postponed because of COVID-19. Sussex Tech has not played since week 1. They are supposed to be done with their quarantine to play next Saturday at Cape, so that's what we will have to figure out. Are they going to be finished with
Trey,
quarantine by the time
I've got
they play?
some breaking news right here
Sure.
from our own Kenny Christopher Jr. It was 33-7 Indian River. That's
Oh.
from Tynan Tucker, the lineman from Sussex
Sweet.
Tech, giving us
Tynan,
that
that's
score.
our guy. And, of course, he has some free time right now because Sussex Tech, as I said, did not play.
Exactly.
But Indian River, I guess now moving to 2-1 after that loss on Monday to Laurel. Polytech, I believe, falling to 0-2, if not 0-3. I believe they did have a cancellation last week against Sussex Tech. But, Brandon, real quick to wrap it up, I came away very impressed with CR's defense. Not to beat a dead horse, but I really love how they came out and played. Also, how about the resilience of Smyrna?
Very impressive
Down
today.
8 with under 5 minutes to play on the road. They not only get 1, but 2 scores in that environment with that much time. Just shows you how dangerous they can and will be in any single situation.
Right, and just
Truly
to
amazing.
just to piggyback off of that, they proved something tonight. They needed 2 scores late, and they
Got
got
them
them.
both.
It's one
Yeah.
thing to put up points early on in a game or when you're up big. It's another when you have to
Yes.
get it in that situation.
Yes.
But let's give some credit to Laurel as well. I mean, they're
about it?
3-0 for the first time in over a decade. That defense looked great once again tonight against Seaford. We'll see what they do next week against Caravel. But hats off to Laurel. We saw what happened with their basketball team last year.
Yeah.
We saw Kylese and Javi White on the football team now. They're bringing that same winning energy
Yes.
over to the football side. This is a different Laurel team, and
Yeah.
they're fun to watch, and we'll see what happens the rest of the season.
And I took a peek couple of weeks ago at Laurel's schedule. They have a potential to be
could start
undefeated.
5-0.
Looking
They
at
really
Delmar,
could.
we don't want to look too far ahead into it, but they have a potential to be undefeated looking at Delmar late in the season.
That's right.
Pretty cool. All right, that's going to do it for the A block. When we come back, we're kicking it on the pitch. 4 of the top teams in the Henlopen North were all in action. We're breaking down those games when DSI returns.
My name's Aiden Sanchez from Smyrna High School, and you're watching Delmarva Sports Insider.